we have one last hot issues question, and that will complete the questions. Then we'll go to some acknowledgments, and then we'll allow the candidates each to make a closing statement. For our last hot issue question, I believe, Mr. Williams, you're up. If you were sitting on the commission today and you had the opportunity to vote on the $600,000 project to renovate the library, how would you vote, or would you stop the project and return the $600,000 to the bank? This question is from the audience here tonight.
Well, I absolutely would support the $600,000 to complete the renovation of the library. I think the library is a critically important asset in our city, and it needs to be supported. I think the long-range aspect of the library, which is a county library in our city, that the way in which it gets funded is confusing. In the long term, my guess is that library will become the Fernandina Beach Library, and the county will remove from it. Now, there is a lot of state money that comes to the county and flows through into the library downtown, and that's a fairly awkward thing. And how you get around that, I don't quite know. But I think that when you hear what's being talked of in the county right now, and their view of it, and this kind of funny thing about 30% cost overruns, that's an excuse to me that they just simply don't want to pony up the money right now. So I think that, yes, certainly do what has to be done to put our money toward fixing the library. It's important to us. But long term, I think there is an important negotiation, an important arrangement with the city and the county to get this, to get a clear demarcation of who's paying for what, and ultimately I think it becomes the city library, and that would be the best solution.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Austin?
Thank you, Lynn Williams. I'm for keeping the library. We have to have it.
Thank you. Mr. Curtin?
Well, right now we've got, I agree that the library is a vital function of the city, and I think we need to retain it and improve it. And the plan right now calls for $600,000 for the city, which I support. The source of it I didn't necessarily agree with at the time, but I realized we had to honor the commitment, so it was necessary to do it that way. There's $600,000 pledged by the county. I've heard about that they're reneging. I don't think that's the case. They've pledged it, and the Friends of the Library have pledged $400,000, and they may be able to raise that a little bit through their fundraising activities. I think we must go forward with this, but this is one of these projects where if there's $1.6 million available to do the job, that doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room. You're going to have to. We have only one chance to get it right. We can't do the old government thing of there's never time to do it right, but there's always time to do it over. We can't go that way. We've got to get it right the first time. If we get it right the first time, we will have a very fine library facility that will handle us and provide the services we need in the community for the 21st century. If we don't do it right and screw it up and put the money in the wrong places for the wrong reasons, we will end up with a turkey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Miller?
Thanks to the city commissioners. I know a lot about roofs that I didn't know ever before when it comes to the library after attending a couple of meetings. I think they're doing a very good job of making sure that this money is being spent the right way. That's a quick answer. Give the Friends of the Library the money they want, and don't ever give money back once you have it.
All right, sir. Thank you. We will make some closing acknowledgments, and then we will call on each candidate to make their closing statement, what have you. The Fernandina Observer would like to thank the City of Fernandina Beach for the use of the Commission chambers this evening, with a thanks to City Manager Joe Garrity and City Clerk Pro Tem Kim Briley for her support. And upstairs in the technical booth, Mr. Michael Rooney, our IT Director. The election day is Tuesday, November 5th. Absentee ballots were mailed out on October the 17th. If voters wish to request a mail ballot, they should contact the supervisor of elections office directly, in person, by phone, mail, or they may go online at www.votenassau.com. The last day to request a vote by mail ballot for the general election is October the 30th. Places to vote on Tuesday, November 5th. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. There will be 3 voting places. Precinct 101 will be the Martin Luther King Elm Street Recreation Center. Precinct number 102 will be the Atlantic Avenue Recreation Center. And precinct number 201 will be the First Baptist Church at 1600 South 8th Street. We please encourage everyone to exercise your right to vote. We will now go back to the 4 candidates and allow them 2 minutes each, up to 2 minutes each, to make a closing comments. We'll start with you, Mr. Austin.
Yes, I feel like my experiences growing up in Fernandina is going to help me make decisions for the future. My background is business, forestry, and building construction. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Curtin.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. First of all, I'd like to thank Susan Steger and the Fernandina Observer for hosting this event tonight and give us an opportunity to present our views. And also Mr. Myers for taking his time and to be our moderator, and he did a fine job. I really appreciate that. I think in summing it up, my background, my managerial and administrative background, both in government and the civilian world and government operations, has prepared me well to take the job of City Commissioner in Fernandina Beach. And I hope you will agree that come election day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
I'd also like to thank Ms. Steger and the Fernandina Observer, and you, sir, as well. Thank you very much. And thank you for everybody who came out and sat here for an hour and 20 minutes. We live in a diverse island. We live in a really diverse downtown. I see it all the time. I mean, we've got people that live in the plantation. We've got shrimpers. We've got service industry workers. I think we need a diverse city council. I think we need somebody, city commission. I think we need somebody that can represent all of us. I don't have all the answers, but I also don't have any preconceived agendas. I think we got to put the little things aside and get down to business. Let's get down to business of doing well again. I think that you got to take everything and look at the details and make the right decisions. But hopefully we'll have a good turnout on election day, and the right person will be up here. But regardless of which the 4 of us it is, I hope that person is accessible to all the people and make sure that they get. And we have to make our own decisions, and we have to speak for what people want. But also, I think we really need to listen to what people want us to do. So, thank you again very much, and this has been a lot of fun, actually.
Thank you. Mr. Williams?
I've spent probably 30 years in the building of large, complex machinery, and the contracting for which and the proposals for which are complex and important, and the detail is important. I think in that kind of living, I think there's something here that as the city goes forward with complex kinds of things, and everything we're doing is going to be increasingly complex, the ability to sort through this is something that I've spent a good deal of time doing. And I think one of the things that unfortunately we have in this town, and I don't think it's just limited to this town, is a kind of a faith in lawyers, that if you give a lawyer a contract, he can read through it and he says it's okay, it's fine. But lawyers are looking for statutes and that sort of thing. They aren't very good at looking for how the money turns out or how the construction detail is. That's not their job. But we somehow slide a responsibility onto them that they're not really competent to take. For instance, I think that the very unfortunate contract that we arrived on with Brett's as to how the city gets not 5% of the gross, but 5% of 5%. that's something a lawyer might miss because it was perfectly legal, but it's something that is in the business world, I would have picked it up in a heartbeat. That was just not the right sort of thing. So I think I bring some ability to this, and I think it's important that in this that we move forward, but we do so in such a way that we bring the whole city forward, that we keep the very real kind of atmosphere that makes this town so attractive to all of us, and we take the entirety of the business into the next years.
Thank you, candidates. We appreciate your willingness to serve your city. We thank you for participating this evening in the program. We thank you for your professionalism in conducting the debate. And to the audience, we appreciate you being here, and have at it now. Thank you, thank you.